Yo, what's up, Swag? And you already know what time it is, man. It's your boy, Ken Laura, aka KL Swag. Back here with a video, man. Look, man. We are back here giving another Matt B great reaction, man. I know y'all enjoyed the reactions to the NFL season. I do have 3 or 4 else to drop. And then a couple more highlights of NFL, man. And then one of my homeboys asked to react to the South Carolina game or whatever like that with that dude Sellers. So yeah, bro, I got a lot of other I got a lot of other reactions to react to. But let's get into this, man. The Shedeur Sanders situation is crazy. Let's get into it.
I mean, how many times did Raleigh get touched?
You got people saying stuff like this. What an awful, in all caps, teammate. Leaving before the game is over, now this. What pro team would want this attitude in the locker room? And that got over 4,000 likes. Another one. Jesus, this kid is a cancer to his locker room.
What he did? All right, we got to see this. What the hell that nigga did? What he did?
Over the weekend, we had a ton of exciting things happen, and we had a lot of interesting games going on in the college football world. There was a lot of notable headlines, including Notre Dame, the 5th best team in the country according to the rankings, lost to Northern Illinois at home. To go along with that,
Oh, damn, I got to react to that.
Tennessee destroyed a top 25 team in NC State. Alabama, for the 2nd straight year, they struggled with, guess who, USF, and Bowling Green gave Penn State a run for their money. And there's many more things that happened, but one of the craziest things that unfolded is what happened after the Nebraska and Colorado game with Shedeur Sanders. If you're watching this video, I'd like to assume you either A, watched the Nebraska-Colorado game, or B, you saw the highlights and saw the final score. The final score is not...
Which, I'm going to keep it real with y'all. They're going to have a losing record. I'm saying that now. They are playing a bunch of great teams, bro. I don't see Colorado coming out with a winning season, bro. Just keeping it real, and I'm a Colorado fan.
Indicator, it was a straight-up, good old-fashioned butt-whooping. And the biggest storyline from that game shouldn't be anything regarding Colorado. It should be all about Nebraska. Defense looked outstanding. Offense, they finally got a quarterback. Who knows what's next for them? The sky's the limit. But yet again, the Sanders family, more important, Shedeur Sanders, he somehow, some way, has stolen the spotlight, and it's not for a good reason. And some of this even took part in the later stages of the game, but come on, man, we knew this game was over at halftime. I didn't even know this happened until a bunch of you were sending it to me, so shout out to y'all, because when it was ongoing, I was filming one of the reaction videos we do on the weekends. I stopped paying attention to this game in the 4th quarter. I did have it on, but I really wasn't focusing on the game because it was all but over. But come to find out, with 2 minutes to go in the game, it's not over, by the way. Shedeur Sanders was already leaving the field and heading to the freaking locker room. I could be highly mistaken, but I didn't see any reports about him being injured. So if he's not injured, I don't like this, and I don't think there's any excuse for it. The only way...
He probably definitely wanted to deal because at the end of the game, the crowd gonna go crazy, the crowd gonna talk, the crowd gonna do this. It might people probably that storm. It might people that people might storm the field or whatever like that, bro. You gotta remember, bro. Nebraska got a crazy ass crowd, bro. I'm gonna lie. I would love to have a Nebraska fan base. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Damn. Crazy influence. Bro, Nebraska fans ride or die for their team, But like I said, he pulled the LeBron and what them guys do in the NBA. They dip.
Way this makes
go straight to the locker room, but damn, 2 minutes left in the game, that is insane.
A lick of sense is if Deion, Shedeur, everybody out there thought potentially Nebraska was going to storm the field, and we know Shedeur Sanders is dang near a celebrity at this point, so you really don't want a celebrity out there with all those kids, because
Yeah, that is true. That's why. That's what I said. They probably was gonna do that.
They're gonna run up to him, sing his song, perfect timing. They're gonna taunt him, do the watch thing. They're gonna do all of that. So yeah, get him out there early, or not get him out there early. Get him off the field early. You get what I'm trying to say? That's the only way I would excuse this, and if that's what they were thinking, they're in the right. But man, oh man, I tell you what, this has rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and they don't like it, and I know why they don't like it. And before we go any farther, I need to say this. If that is true, they're trying to get them off the field early because they thought Nebraska might storm the field. Why would Nebraska storm the field after beating an awful and sorry and sucky Colorado football team? You see what I'm saying? And I know the Nebraska football program hasn't been too great themselves the past few years, but I think even storming the field after beating Colorado is below them. Getting back on track here, like I was saying, you know how this looks. Most people are saying this is sore loser energy, and this isn't what being a leader is about. And these people aren't wrong for saying he's a sore loser, because this is the definition of it. Before the games, you're flexing on people, showing how expensive your new watch is. you're talking your stuff, and when you win, it's all fine and dandy. You don't mind being out there. But when you lose and you know the game's over, you're like, oh yeah, screw this, I'm going home, I'm heading to the locker room early, because you don't want to face the repercussions, because you know the people that you were talking your stuff to, they're going to reciprocate that same energy you gave them. It's somewhat disrespectful, and I don't think Shedeur is intending to come off this way, but you're giving off the energy and vibes that you're above staying until the clock hits 0. Like you're above not just shaking hands with Nebraska and respecting them and giving your kudos and respect, but you're also above your teammates who are going to stick.
To be honest, I don't care. I wouldn't care, to be honest. Who cares? You got the money, you got the fame, you are good, you're chilling, everybody know you. Hey, only thing is just treat people right, you know, or whatever like that, man. But to be honest, I don't see nothing wrong with it. Get the hell out of there before we go crazy. Shit, I'll leave you too.
Out there till the clock hits 0 as well. And it goes back to what I've been saying about this Colorado football team. It's not a team. I need to quit calling them that. It's a bunch of individuals. It's an AAU basketball team, nothing more, nothing less. Jimmy Horn Jr. is one of their better players, so I will give him some credit, but we all know this is the Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter show. That's it. That's all this was ever intended to be. Everybody else on the team, just do your job and make sure you get out of their way. Okay, I did a little digging and research. So apparently Shedeur Sanders was in concussion protocol, and that's why he left early. Not too sure how true that is, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. If that is true, which I don't know for 100%, it makes more sense. I hope it is true, because if not, it's not kind of no, it's just straight up a bad look. You need to be there for your teammates through the thick and thin. I don't care about him leaving in regards of not shaking hands with Nebraska. I could care less about that. I'd just rather him wait the game out to the clock hits 0 to be there for his teammates. It shows a lot to your teammates as a leader. When you're sticking with them through the battle, you're going through the fire. I'll give you a good example. I had a coach, when he would make us run, he would also run. And I can't tell y'all enough how much respect I gained for him and how much more that meant to me and my teammates. Because when you got a coach that's telling you to run suicides or run on the football field, it's like, oh man, this sucks. I mean, you don't have animosity towards them. But when you got a coach that's like, all right, boys, we're going to run, and he's running with you, you're like, all right, dang. He's going through this with me. I respect this guy a little bit more. That's where I'm coming from with that. To go on top of all this, if it wasn't already bad enough for Mr. Shedeur Sanders, after the game, he did a post-game interview, and some people are taking this as he's throwing the offense line under the bus. And when I say some, I mean a lot. This video alone on Twitter has 12 million views. This clip is only about 45 seconds. I did watch the entire video clip. It's about 5 to 6 minutes, so I had complete context, and I was making sure the clip itself wasn't taken out of context. And I'm here to tell you it's not taken out of context. The reporter wound up asking him what's up with the offense and the running the ball and passing the ball balance. This is where Shedeur,
which they run offense is terrible. They cannot run the ball, and then they got this Ohio State running back or whatever like that, bro. They cannot run the ball, bro. They offensive line is not physical enough, nasty enough to get in them trenches and go crazy and be that offensive line that's, you know, supposed to be good or whatever like that. If they had that Georgia Tech offensive line, oh my gosh, the way they pushed around or on FSU trash ass, that would be fire. But like I said, their offensive line is not nasty. They don't got that violent intent to you know, put every defensive lineman to the ground and make sure they running back get those yards and make sure Shedeur is protected.
just responds to him with, quote unquote, how many times did Raiola get touched? Referring to, you know, Shedeur is getting hit nonstop every single play of the game.
I mean, how many times did Raiola get touched?
You said what?
How many times did Raiola get touched? There was able, like, of course, whenever you're able to run the ball consistently, and whenever you're able to, then that opens up the pass, you know. But it's just like you gotta understand, like, what your team good at.
I'm gonna stop it right there and ask you guys a question. Is he wrong? You can feel however you want about this.
Yeah, Colorado is a passing offense, which is easy to stop Colorado. All you got to do is make sure you do your thing versus Travis Hunter and make sure you play your defense and bring pressure on Shedeur. That's it, bro. That's all you have to do. And then, you know, that's it. You score and do your thing on offense for, you know, for the opposite team. Going against a passing offense, bro, with a okay offensive line, bro, you can win that game.
Colorado football team, but Shedeur Sanders is one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. And I feel bad for
He definitely is. It's just don't have no line and can't run the ball.
him because he plays on this awful Colorado football team and they have one of the worst offensive lines in the nation. And what he's about to say next is spot on the money. Why would we continue to run the ball or even try to if we can't?
So it's like, why would we keep running the ball if, okay, we out there, we get in a situation where it's a must get and we don't get it.
Are those kind of like 4th and 1 conversions that haven't gone your guys' way in the last couple is that kind of play into everybody's mind? Is that kind of something on your mind thinking about, advancing the ball and whatnot?
Nah, I'd rather, if we're going to go down, I'd rather go down swinging, honestly.
I'm not defending Shedeur in this situation. Actually, you know what, scratch that. You could say I'm defending him. Don't care. The reporter asked him a question about how come they're not running the ball on 3rd and 1, and he simply answered it, and he responded in a great way.
Completely ass.
He just told me cold hard facts. We can't run the ball, so yeah, when it's 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1, we're gonna have to pass. In regards to the how many times did Raiola get touched comments, if you switch, I'm gonna ask you guys a question. If you switch Raiola and Shedeur Sanders, their offensive lines, who do you think would have played better? The problem with this and why everyone has so much animosity built up for Shedeur and this entire Colorado football team is because when you talk crazy, you're talking about how you're going to be the next best thing since sliced bread. Deion said a couple months ago, they're going to make the college football playoff. You're flexing your rollie. That pisses people off. And guess what? People don't forget things like that, and they are quite literally not just preying on your downfall, but they are waiting for it. They are salivating at the opportunity to ridicule you and point and laugh at you. So at this point in time, it really doesn't matter what Shedeur says. People are going to come after him. You got people saying stuff like this. What an awful, in all caps, teammate. Leaving before the game is over, and now this. What pro team would want this attitude in the locker room? And that got over 4,000 likes. Tuning in to Hate Watch Colorado every week has become a small joy in my life. So I thank Deion and Shedeur for giving me that time. The funny part is a lot of people are like that. They're just hate watching. Another one, Jesus, this kid is a cancer to his locker room. There's a couple comments saying, oh, well, if his offensive line didn't block for him these past couple weeks, they're for sure not going to block for him moving forward. And here would be my rebuttal. It can't get too much worse. They're already not blocking for him as to where it stands currently, so I don't know how much worse it can get. Here's an interesting comment. Deion was a great individual talent, but never a great teammate. That can sort of work at cornerback. It doesn't work as a coach or quarterback. This is playing out exactly like I thought it would. Throwing your O-line under the bus after week 1. Interesting strategy by a quarterback. Now let's address this. Is Shedeur Sanders a extremely confident individual and even a little cocky, some may say? Absolutely. I mean, come on. His dad is Deion Sanders. Like they say, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. I say that to say this. Does his attitude rub me the wrong way? No, not even close. I could care less. It's one of those things where you just got to know how he is, and he may say some things that rub you the wrong way, but I don't think he means anything bad by it. In perspective, it changes everything. I'll give you a good example. So if you like Shedeur Sanders and you're a Colorado fan, and you hear him say, yeah, we can't run the ball and my offense line isn't doing that great of a job, you may look at it and go, oh yeah, he's right. We need to work on that. Whereas a person who hates Shedeur and is preying on his downfall hears him say that, it's like, oh, what a loser. Look at the lack of leadership. He takes zero accountability. If you already don't like him, you're going to be more inclined to hold him to the fire after any and every single comment compared to a person that is a fan of his. So that's where we stand, and I think both people are in the right. I'm not a fence rider by any stretch of imagination, but like I said, it's just a perspective thing. If you view him leaving the game early and saying what he said about the offensive line, regardless if he was in concussion protocol or not, you view all that as, oh, he's a bad teammate and that was a terrible look. I get it. On the flip side, if you view him leaving the game early as, oh, not a big deal, and him throwing the offensive line, quote unquote, under the bus as just living in reality, I understand that as well. How about we do this? I'll leave it up to you guys. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about all of it.
I'm not gonna lie. Hey, it is what it is. Shedeur Sanders, man, keeping it real. The offensive line is ass. They got to do something about that. Hey, they got a hard schedule, man. Deion Sanders, you shouldn't have put in that hard-ass schedule for them. I'm not gonna lie. They're gonna be in a dog fight all season, and it just started.